Hey, what's up, YouTube channel? Stars down there again. Go hard, go home. Y'all know what it is. Y'all hit the like, y'all hit subscribe. So y'all know I'll be doing some of the reviews on the Mr. Locario guy. Uh, and some people was telling me I didn't consume enough of his content before I was doing my critique. So I consumed a lot of it, and I come to find out, well, he's got a channel for women also. So I went to go look at some of this. I'm gonna start to consume some of this to see some of the other sides of him. Okay, so far y'all already know how I critique this guy, but today we'll be seeing what he's saying to women and what I have to say about that. I haven't got a chance to listen to this yet. I think it's some kind of little radio show. It's the first thing I found on there, but you know he's got the hewantsyou.com. So ladies, if you want to check that out, y'all check that out. For ladies watching this, you check that out. How to find a keeper mastery course. You know, because this guy tells guys how to get women, but he can also tell women how to get men. So y'all check that out. We're gonna get into this and listen to what he's got to say, and I'm gonna do a little talk about this today. See what's going on with it.
Yo, what's going on? What's poppin', ladies? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. So in this video, I want to tell you something that you're probably not going to want to hear, but if you listen to what I'm saying, you are definitely going to succeed in having a long-term relationship, getting a boyfriend, getting married, having kids, and all this other stuff, right? Now, what you have to understand is this, is that if you actually want that type of relationship, you want something that's going to last long, you want something that's going to, be of substance, you have to settle. You have to settle. I know everyone's saying, oh no, don't settle, girl, wait for that type of guy or no, you have to settle. Now, let me say this. I want you to understand when I say settle, right? What I'm saying is that you have to have a relationship with a man where it's going to work out realistically. So a lot of times the reason why you have issues, like keeping a man, right, is because you're unrealistic when it comes to this type of situation.
Okay. Look, homie. Here goes another one, and this is another thing. I'm gonna do another video on this. Let me go ahead and write that down. Manosphere or no manosphere. Look, in this manosphere junk and all this dating stuff and everything, I'm starting to find that a lot of these guys are not being realistic about what they're doing. Now you got several channels where women are going on there already telling you that they're not gonna do this right here that he's talking about. And you're still trying to tell them that. Or you're still trying to ask that of them. This is not alpha male stuff, not to me. If you already, they're saying they ain't gonna do this, you need to find some other way of dealing with it. Now he's telling them to lower their standard down to something more around their area, but they've been telling you they won't do it. Hell, they said on Kevin Samuels show, you go watch his channel. He kept telling them that they refused, and then you got the doggone Fresh and Fit guys. They got prostitutes telling them that that's not gonna happen. So I'm gonna see what else he's gonna be saying, because now you're just begging. To me, you're begging women for this, and you're not gonna get that. But he's just giving that as advice. But yeah, it's good advice, but it ain't gonna happen.
So the reason why I say you have to settle is because in most cases, right, you're not going to get the fantasy type of guy that you had in your head. You're not going to get that guy in most cases. And what happens is that if you're chasing that dude, right, you're going to 99% of the time be disappointed. Now, I'm not saying that this can never happen. I'm not saying it's impossible to happen. I'm just saying that, it's most likely not going to happen, right? So, let's look at, for example, the lottery. You could win the lottery, but what are the chances? You understand what I'm saying? Most likely you're not going to win. You understand? There's people who played lottery for decades and never win anything. You understand what I'm saying? So, but again, you could win the lottery, but let's not bank on that. Let's be realistic here. You understand? Now, when I say settle, I don't mean be with someone that you don't want to be with. What I'm saying is that you're with a man you want to be with, but he may not be the perfect type of guy. That's what I'm talking about with settling. So what happens is a lot of y'all have this idea of this perfect dude that you might want or whatever, and in a lot of cases, he doesn't exist. Or if he does exist, he's not in, it's not a large variety of those men around.
They want a man out of their league. That's pretty much what it is. If these guys are going to be explaining this shit to women, and it's one thing even I thought about Kevin Samuels, y'all explain it like way too nice. You want a man that's out of your league. But see, if you tell that to women, you know what I'm saying? Well, because just like Kevin Samuels, he's pandering to people. He panders to guys. He panders to women also. But, I mean, like, if you're going to tell the real. You want a man that's outside of your doggone league, and you might can't get that, is really what he's saying. And women don't really care about that either. So that's another issue. But let's go ahead with this.
For that to go around. So let's say 95% of women, want this fantasy type of guy, right? But let's say 95% of guys are not that guy. So what are your chances of getting that 5% when 95% of women want that? So let's say the 5% who are that, they're all snatched up. They're in a relationship, or they're just, out here playing the field, whatever, but you don't have access to them. So what happens is that you have the other, 95% of guys who are not that fantasy dude. So you're going to have to settle. So again, when I say settle, I'm not saying that you need to, get in a situation where you don't like the guy, you're not attracted to the guy, and you're just like, well, let me just stick with this guy because I have no choice. And no, I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying is, let's say, for example,
But to them, that is what he's talking about. It's always going to sound that way to them because they got a different standard of what's going on right now. Things have changed. 20 years ago, like some of the times when I be critiquing this guy and guys be saying stuff on my channel, I be telling them, 20 years ago, I would have said this dude is absolutely right. I would have said that. It's just now things are different, and I mean, they're still the same, but you got some extra rules now. So you have to kind of play this stuff a little bit different.
Just use this as an example so you just understand what I'm saying. Let's say, for example, in your mind, you're like, a guy that I'm with who I'm going to marry, he needs to be at least 6 feet, right? Now, the funny part is that, most of the population are not 6 feet, right? So let's say you meet a guy and he's 5'10", 5'9", 5'10". And mind you, you're 5'4". You understand? So when I say settle, what I mean is that you might need to say, okay, well, yeah, I would prefer a guy 6 feet, but I'm willing to deal with the guy or get with the guy who's 5'9", 5'10", because that opens and broadens the amount of options you have to make something happen. Now, you can sit there and wait for a guy to be 6 foot, and I'm not saying that it can never happen. But what I'm saying is that what you're doing is when you have this sort of specific idea of, oh, he needs to be this, he needs to be that, you have to be realistic about what it is that you're going to get when it comes to the dating game. And the problem is with a lot of women are completely unrealistic, because what happens is, because a lot of guys want to have sex with you,
you already know that these women are unrealistic, and you're going to try to tell them to be realistic, and that's the deal. That ain't going to work. But it's no wonder the videos is 7 months old with 500 something hits. But my videos got more hits than that, and my channel ain't even a year old.
you have this inflated, sort of ego because you have a lot of guys who are interested in you sexually. So therefore you assume that you can get that fantasy guy you want to actually settle down with you, to be with you. Now, again, it's not impossible, but most likely it's not going to happen. So what happens is you get the 6-foot guy who wants to have sex with you. So you assume that you can get the 6-foot guy to want to be in a long-term relationship with you. Right? Which isn't true.
Okay. What this guy not understanding is that women, and they've told Kevin Samuels this several times, you don't have to take my word for it. You don't have to take my word for it. Go watch that Kevin Samuels channel. They would rather be side chicks to the guys that they supposedly really want. This way of talking and asking them to change is not going to work. They're telling you what they're going to do. They are saying it, and they mean this shit. They ain't playing. Like I say again, you don't have to take my word. Go watch the Kevin Samuels show. Listen to them say that. He was saying it. He was saying it several times that I keep getting an answer back. They'd rather do this. He was saying it. If you look at, you got a rise of polygamy. Stuff like that, polyamory. Because they'd rather be in a rotation of this person they really want. Women don't have to choose men for resources anymore. So now they pretty much choosing off physical attraction. Well, I say this guy, he ain't putting enough emphasis on that. 20 years ago, I would have said he was absolutely right. Because women are choosing off resources. Now, they're not really doing that. They're choosing more off of like they want you or not, sexually. Physical attraction. So asking them to change that really ain't going to work because they're not picking up the same things kind of no more.
Because what's easy for you ladies is to get sexual interactions. When it comes to long-term relationships, it's a little bit more complex. Right? And so what happens is that you need to have a broader range of who you're willing to be with versus a small, little minuscule, type of guy that, is hardly around or just doesn't exist. Because what's going to happen is you're going to keep chasing this fantasy, till forever, and then nothing's going to happen. So
if you haven't noticed, that's what's going on now, and it's what's going to keep going on. Some of them might be a little bit different, but it's not going to be the majority. So I don't see the sense of really talking about this with women, but to each their own. I'm going to let them finish. I might say a couple more things depending on what he said. I don't know what he's going to say. So I'm going to listen a little bit more and be kind of quiet. We try to get this video on over with.
If you're like, okay, he needs to be 6 feet, you prefer that, but you'll take a guy who's 5'10", 5'11", whatever, right? You're like, oh, he has to make 6 figures. He has to make this amount of money. Okay, I get that, but how about a guy who just has a good job and he's making decent money? You understand what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is this, is that the more realistic you get, the better your chances of finding what you want. And
but they're already telling you, like I said, go watch the Kevin Samuels channel. Fresh and Fit got doggone prostitutes telling you. They'd rather be in a rotation with the dudes with the money. Why not tell the guys to just get the doggone money? Because it's becoming apparent what this is. But that's just me. But y'all keep asking women to change. Why?
Better chances of you getting that. Because let's say, for example, the fantasy guy is 6 foot, super ripped, rich, all this other stuff. He's like, that dude is the guy. Right? Now, because that guy is the guy, most women want that guy, and therefore there's more competition, and therefore he has no incentive in a lot of cases to just be with you.
Women understand this already. That is why they are saying they would rather be in his rotation than be your girlfriend. You keep trying to explain it to them, but for what? They already understand it. It is not me saying it. Like I said, go check out the Kevin Samuels channel. Plenty of them was saying that. Fresh and fit. You got OnlyFans prostitutes telling you that they rather do that, and then on Kevin Samuels you had regular chick tell you. So the hoes and the regular women was saying it. So hey.
But your ego wants to tell you that he just wants to be with you, or that he will just want to be with you, versus the guy who's 5'10", has a good job, and is a cool guy who would love to have you, but you're still chasing the 6-foot jacked rich guy because that's the one you want to be your boyfriend or your husband or whatever. And I get it.
That's the one they'd rather share if they can't have a man. See, that's what you're misunderstanding. I done got that out watching these YouTube channels. I done got enough of that. When I watched that Kevin Samuels for a long time. And I watched a lot of that Fresh and Fit. And when I'm watching it for different reasons. I'm not watching it to see people get torn up. I'm listening to what the women's saying. And I'm telling you, I'm 44 years old, guys. 20 years ago when I was 24, when most of y'all was probably babies. Most of the guys, because my dynamic say most of these guys watching my channel 30-something to 40, early 40. 20 years ago, when I was 24, even the 40-year-old guys would be 20. Anybody below that in the 30s would have been a teenager, and anybody lower than that would have been a baby. Women would not have got up the nerve to say some of the stuff they're saying right now. And the stuff they're saying right now is a direct doggone reaction out of them having their own money and their own resources. The minute they didn't need you for that anymore, they're going to do whatever they want to do. That's what people need to start understanding. Asking them to take less doesn't matter because they're going to eat anyway. That's the way they're looking at it. I'm going to eat anyway, so I may as well have sex with a dude that I want to have sex with. And if it's got to be him and he's got a couple other girlfriends, well, I'm going to share the broke nigga or the ugly nigga too. I'm going to share both of them. So, see, let's just go on.
Like who like if a woman had to choose between the 6-foot guy and he's like, he's rich and he's looks good and he's charming and all that other stuff, and you have another guy right here who's 5'8", 5'9", regular job and whatever, and both of them wanted to be with you, of course you're gonna choose probably the 6-foot guy, right? I get it. But the problem is that it's not realistic. Let me flip this so you ladies will understand what I'm saying before I wrap this up. You know what I'm saying? Just so I want you to get it. Imagine if, and I think I talked about this before, imagine if men, right, when it comes to us having sex, had this idea of this fantasy woman that we're only going to have sex with her. See, when men have sex with women, we settle. Meaning, we want to have sex with the Beyoncés, the Kim Kardashians. You understand what I'm saying? We want to have sex with the girls that we think are the hottest girls. You understand what I'm saying? But what happens is when a guy goes out to a club, to a bar, he meets women and all this other stuff.
Okay, this is a bad analogy. It's a bad analogy for this reason. Okay? Women don't have this problem. They can have sex with whoever they want to have sex with. Women are not going to listen to you coming from this point of view, guys. They're not going to. I can tell you that right now. That you having to settle for sex, that's your problem. They're going to look at it that way. They don't have that problem. That's a guy problem. I don't have that problem. As a woman, I don't have that problem. Now, here's the deal. If I'm going to share guys anyway, because if I get a broke dude, he might be cheating too. So I'm going to get the dude that looks like I want, that's got the money that I want, and then if I gotta share, then so be it. Become sharing anyway. See, they're not looking. They don't know the women. They don't know the woman's side of view. I know it. I actually talk to women, but that's the type of stuff I'm be putting on my channel, because that's how they're gonna see it. They seen it that way. That's why you got the OnlyFans chicks. You got prostitutes, man. I'm telling you, 20 years ago, that type of woman would have not be saying this kind of stuff they'd be saying on Fresh and Fit. But I know what changed it. They got money now. They don't need a guy to eat. When they keep saying we don't need men, that's what they mean. That's what they mean. That's what they mean, guys. They mean we don't need men to eat. We don't need. I can feed myself. I need so when it come out of this, I'm gonna get what I want. And anybody's got their own money, you can't knock that. Anybody's got their own money should get what they want. And see, once you start looking at it from that point of view, things with women get a whole lot easier.
He's like, listen, if I was just to only try to have sex with women who are the Beyoncés and the Kim Kardashians, I'd probably hardly ever have any sex. Because one, I'm not finding that many women out here that look like that. And two, if I do find that woman, you understand, it's only a small amount of women to where the chances of me making that happen on a consistent basis is small. So
women don't care. That is a man's problem. It is not a woman's problem. This analogy is not going to get it across to women. You got to settle because you want something from them. Before they wanted something from you, which was money, and they still want that, but now they got their own. So now you got to have more to give to them. You see, this is why this don't work. But I'm going to let it keep on going because I'm going to go ahead and finish this one, get off of this one, and get this one out to y'all.
What does he have to do? He has to settle to get what he wants, which is the sex. But if he's like, oh, I'm only going to have sex with women who look like Kim Kardashian, he's going to have a dry dick.
But they don't have to settle to get what they want from men, which is money. They don't have to settle to get that. They can get it from this dude, that dude, this dude, that dude. They can ask for it directly, or they can date him. They can date him and get it that way. They can tell him, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? They can holler at him, he don't like him. Okay, well, I'll do this with you. They can do that. That's what they're telling you. The Fresh and Fit show is a very good example of that. Those women on there that be on there mostly be OnlyFans chicks and shit. They got some different ones that come on there sometimes, but they be mostly that. And they're even saying that. And then you watch the Kevin Samuels show, because he had OnlyFans on there every now and again, but most of his was regular chicks and women that had decent job stuff, and they are even saying that. The reason why is because the options work different for women. The minute men understand that, the better it will get for you. The minute you understand that and stop trying to talk against each other, stop trying to ask them for this junk right here, because they don't care. They don't have to lower their standards. Men will pay for sex if they have to. So, you know what I'm saying? You can't tell them that. It's not. Let me let them finish.
So when you ladies out here saying, I'm only going to get with a guy who's 6 foot, has, this type of job and this and that, you are not going to have a boyfriend. You're not going to get married. You're going to be alone forever.
He started to sound like Kevin Samuels, who he said was a trick. But the thing is, though, just throwing that out there. Look, they're not going to be alone. They would rather be in the dude that they want that look like. They'll find one. They'll find one. If they got to be. I seen plenty of women do it. I know women that do it. And they'd rather be in that dude's rotation than be with another dude.
Think about it.
So that's the end of that. Now he's telling them, think about it, and I'm telling you right now, they don't care. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta kind of put that, you know what I'm saying? Look at that right there. I'm telling you, they don't care. They have a whole different idea of this. They don't have to lower their standards. They don't have to care. They're looking at it from this right here. I'm gonna share anyway. Where this dude is 5'4" and broke, he probably still gonna talk to somebody else. They know that from guys like Locario teaching game. Because game is gonna keep you talking to other people. Women gonna go look at that other side. See, I look at this channel because I know women gonna go and look at the other channel too. They're gonna see what else you're saying too. That's why you got low hits on this channel. Women ain't finna hear that shit. They're not like guys. You can't just talk them into bullshit with several different things. They gonna look at all sides of it to some degree. So anyway though, that's my thing. Y'all hit like, y'all hit subscribe, y'all let me know what y'all thinking. Drop the comments. But you ain't gonna talk women out of this. Stop asking them. And the quicker you come to that conclusion, the better off you'll be as a man. They're not gonna see this point. They're not going to see it. They don't have to lower their options. Because first off, before I get off of here, I'm gonna go ahead and drop this to you real quick. Here go a little diamond. If you're still here, check this out. Okay, women outnumber men a lot. They are already in higher competition than what men think, and what men, men don't think that there's a higher competition level with women, but it is. That's not what's being put in the open. Women are in a high level competition all the time if they want, you know what I'm saying? And they want certain, and they will still want the small level men. So guys, they'd rather be in that rotation of that guy they really want. It's better to try to get as close to being that guy they really want. That's all I'm saying. So it's been Taurus Downey. Go hard to go home. I'm finna get out of here on this one. Y'all drop the comments, y'all hit like, y'all hit subscribe, because that's all I want from you. Never asking for money, never asking for your cash out. Watch me. So, here we go. I'm out. Peace.